Hi guys, and welcome back. In today's Pick a Card Tarot reading, we are asking, what does your former workplace think of you? All the people there, how are you remembered? Any gossip currently going on? Are they still talking about you? All that fun stuff. So let's get the juicy details there. You can, of course, choose different groups for different former workplaces. But anyway, this is a fun one, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we have 3 groups to choose from. This is Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. For Group 1 today, we have a clear citrine point. For Group 2, we have a natural amethyst wand point. Rough. I don't know what you call it right now. And for Group 3, we have a polished, I think this is called lepidolite, if I'm recalling correctly. Beautiful blue speckled stone. But as always, take as much time as you need to decide which group or groups that you feel most drawn to. And you can pause the video if you need, but when you're ready, please go ahead and click the corresponding timestamp in the description box below this video, and I will see you in just a second in your reading. Hi Group 1, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this clear citrine point today. So the topic for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is, how does your former workplace remember you, your ex-coworkers, your ex-boss, all that good stuff. So let's just jump in and get started. Alrighty, so we'll start with the archetypes, I think. So we have the goddess. Light attributes say the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. And we have companion. So I do feel like people at your former workplace definitely saw you as very attractive. I feel like with all these hearts here, maybe multiple people kind of had little crushes on you. Just, I don't know, just generally found you physically appealing. There might have been a lot of people that checked you out frequently, tried to catch glances when you walked by, things like that. So I think you are being remembered at this workplace as attractive, potentially maybe a bit seductive. It might have also brought some jealousy from other coworkers of the same gender, possibly. Also, something about your clothing and fashion was quite memorable. I don't know if you had a bold way of dressing, if you're able to dress up at your work or something like that. Okay, so from the Norse mythology cards, we have Durin, which says the doorkeeper and navigation. So with a doorkeeper there, some of you might have worked the front desk at a place. Doesn't have to be. That could just be confirmation for somebody. And we have Goy, which says transformation in reverse. Okay. Let me pull all the cards out right now. So we have the golden egg in reverse, and we have the fox. A lot of yellow. Some of you might be blonde. I'm also getting just long hair in general. Okay. This one might get a little negative, Group 1. Hold on. Give me a second. So, I doubt this is everybody at your former workplace's opinions, but there's definitely some strong negative opinions coming through here. I am getting that you are stuck in your ego. Some people might call you manipulative or vindictive, or heartless even. Cold and heartless. Stubborn. Okay, yeah, so I don't know what happened here. Maybe some of you were in positions of authority, and there are some bitter people who you had to let go, who were underperforming, something like that. That's where these voices could be coming from. To be honest, you left this workplace, so perhaps it wasn't on good terms. You would know why this might be. I could also be picking up on, like I said, these kind of jealous voices I was saying, because you are coming across as very physically attractive at this workplace. There might have been gossip that you um, well, you used your sexuality to move up the ranks, or that you were maybe trying to seduce your boss, you know, those kinds of things. Yeah, sorry about this, group one, but you left this place, so obviously you're out of the toxicity now. It's all good. Maybe you were sleeping with somebody at your work. Maybe you were dating somebody at your work, and maybe there's a lot of negative talk about that. It could even be the former person that you were intimate with that is saying this negative gossip. I'm also getting, this was originally upside down, sorry. I just feel like it needs to be upright. There's also something about like racism or racial differences come here. You might have been the odd one out in terms of your ethnic background at this workplace. That, or it could just be like feeling like an outsider generally, because you might have come from a different place. You could be, I don't know, just have a different even work background than most people you worked with, things like that, or even maybe a woman in a male dominated field, something like that. There's something about being the odd one out through factors outside of your control, just like something you were born with. There's a lot about your fashion here. So there's something about, I don't know, your clothes that's really coming through here. I mean, some of this negative stuff could be that you are intentionally dressing seductively, but I also feel like there's some appreciation for your fashion and how you dressed, and even kind of jealous ways that, like, you're strutting around like a model, um, or something like that. Like someone's saying something like that negatively. And if it's not like positive comments on your fashion, maybe some people thought you dressed a little sloppy at work. So take it as it resonates for your fashion style, you know, how you showed up to work and what you were wearing. Let's see here. So there are definitely a lot of people that were checking you out. I don't know. It just, it seems like you left this workplace at least not on good terms with somebody here. Somebody might even be calling you a liar. I feel like, though, like I was saying, the story with the, if you were a boss and you had to fire somebody, it's something similar to that, if it's not exactly that. Like, I could even be picking up on someone who also left this workplace, and maybe they got fired or something and they blame you for it. Like for some reason it's your fault things went bad, or their career went bad or something like that. Somebody is blaming you and they're calling you heartless and cold or even sociopathic. I don't I don't know. Somebody here is not happy. They were not happy. But let's pull some tarot now. Spirit, can you tell us more about how this particular former workplace thought about group one? How is group one remembered here? How is group one remembered? Two of Swords in reverse. Excuse me. I don't know. See, look at that. Look at the like the different colored skin on that card. Definitely some ethnic tension here, or problems. Some of you might have been dealing with legitimately racist coworkers, and I'm so sorry if that's the case. Racist or sexist or something like that. Spirit, can you tell us? Excuse me. They might have tried to stop you from speaking your truth. Maybe that's why someone's calling you a liar here. It might have been like some type of I don't know, way to ruin your reputation so nobody would believe you that something happened. Maybe they were afraid you were going to be a whistleblower or tell on them. Someone could have been spreading lies about you. Or, to be honest, some of them might have been saying that you were the one spreading lies. Take it as it resonates. Something about lying, snitching, tattletaling, something like that. Let's see. Spirit, tell us more. Tell us more. Something about your tattoos might have come up, like people might have been mentioning that, or they're remembering them for some reason. Maybe you were in a workplace where they felt like tattoos were inappropriate, like a really outdated, old school kind of workplace. They might have needed you to cover them, and maybe you refused to. There is something about standing your ground here. I think one of the words I was saying in the beginning was stubborn. You are being described as stubborn here, so maybe you didn't like to follow all the rules. So we have the Tower in reverse here as well. I think somebody here is saying that, wow, they're all coming in reverse. I am not holding it upside down. Okay, Knight of Wands in reverse. I feel like somebody here is saying that you desperately want to come back to this workplace, especially if this is one where you were kind of fired from and voluntarily let go of. I think that they've convinced themselves that you want to be here despite this toxicity, which is kind of funny, right? It's kind of like those romantic exes that are convinced all their exes are obsessed with them and stalking them when nobody's actually thinking about them at all. That's kind of the energy it's giving. So Knight of Wands in reverse. Again, it's like this sneaky asexual energy, this seduction energy that you are kind of being accused of. More so if you're a woman, and most people watching this are, but if you're male, it might just be maybe you were accused of I don't know, some other form of asexual misconduct, or you know what I'm saying here. I feel like a lot of this, though, is for the women here. It's how you dressed or you dated somebody, something like that. Spirit, tell us more. Tell us more. Some of them might have said that you smelled bad. Oh my god, I hate this. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you're not working here anymore, Group 1. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands is such an ego card. Isn't that what I was saying? Especially with all this yellow here. Yeah. They think you're full of yourself. They think you're in your ego. Vindictive might even be a thing. See, I don't think there was any problem with your work output. I think your work was great with the Seven of Pentacles there. I think you were freaking great at your job. I'm trying not to swear anymore on this channel, guys. Sorry. But you were great at your job. There's nothing to complain about. I think some people might have been frustrated that you were so good at your job when they didn't like you this much, because it made you extremely valuable at this workplace. I feel like you were very significant to this company's productivity. I think they really needed you. I think you were actually really crucial, like a cornerstone, like a foundation. And I feel like when you left, it was actually really difficult for them to keep going. You're hard to replace. So it was all you leaving, and any negative feelings, it was all some weird personal projection crap. I don't know if this resonates. Obviously, this isn't going to resonate for everybody here. Some people might have been trying to send negative energy your way. I don't know if you had coworkers that were into that kind of thing. Even directed spell work. It's really weird. I don't basically never talk about that kind of stuff on this channel. So for it to come through, it's like a very specific message. If you're thriving and at a better job now, it's making people so jealous. So jealous. Especially if someone tried to tear you down here, it's like they are so frustrated that their attempts failed and that you came out on top somewhere else. I don't know what it is, but some people are perceiving that you are now currently winning. So they must check up on you sometimes on your social media. And yeah, it frustrates them. I feel like you're creative, you're thriving, probably making more money where you currently are, or at least some people here are perceiving it that way. Okay, so before I even realize what this card is, the first thing I'm noticing is all this garlic. Remember how I said maybe you smelled bad? Maybe you had garlic breath one time after eating some spaghetti or something? Or a salad? A salad? Or they thought your food was too strong smelling? Your lunches? I have no idea. What a weird thing. Isn't that weird? Um, but anyway, this is the Two of Wands. You're too independent. You're too bold. You were too hard to control. Really rubbed some people the wrong way. I really feel like some of you might have been just like, I don't know, you're just kind of like, F the rules. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm too valuable. Why would, you know? Because you were. You were extremely valuable and important. Key part of this company's efficiency and productivity. And revenue even. I think I'm gonna just pull a couple emoji cards to see if we can get any other information before I close this out. So Spirit, anything else that these coworkers remember? How do they remember group 1 or anything they're currently saying? Okay, so we have this nice hand sign. So yeah, physical attractiveness. I feel like that is mentioned like every time you are brought up at this workplace. Okay, so we have the French fries. So again, something about your lunches. I have no idea why people would be talking about that or remembering your lunches. Maybe you always had creative foods, strong smelling foods. I don't know. Maybe you just ate a lot and people are just remembering. Maybe you were the person that was constantly eating at their desk. I don't know. I also heard combative. I just heard the word combative, but I guess that kind of matches everything I've already been saying. Rocket ship. Rocket ship. Clarify, please, Spirit. Your music choices. If you played music in your office at your desk, people might be remembering that, talking about that. Or if you play musical instruments, could be something to do with the guitar specifically, with that coming up. But with the rocket here, what I heard was good riddance. So yeah, obviously you didn't part ways with this company with perfect terms for everybody here. And you'll know your situation if this was most people, if it was just one awful person. But anyway, group 1, congratulations on moving out of this workplace and thriving. And for those of you where this is really fresh, I'm sorry, but you're going to get through it, and you're going to come out on top, like I was just saying. They're going to eventually be super jealous that you are succeeding and doing so much better without them. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group 1. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought, especially on these types of readings. I love hearing your guys' stories, or even if you could just comment to let me know which group you were in. That's always appreciated. And if you're new here and you liked my readings, you like my vibe, you like my style, please consider subscribing. I make a lot of different pick a card tarot readings over here on a variety of topics, which you can find categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page. So go check those out if you're interested in more readings as well. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi group 2, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose this amethyst point today. So the topic for today's pick a card tarot reading is, how does your former workplace remember you? Ex-coworkers, ex-bosses, how are you seen? So let's just jump right in here. Okay, so which ones do we start with? Let's start with the attribute cards, archetypes. So we have Don Juan. The light attribute says, spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. And we have the Mother, which says, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. So very feminine. That's a very feminine energy. I do feel like there were some people that you had that had crushes on you, like actual romantic crushes. And if that's not really resonating, it's like there's a romantic quality to you. I just feel like it's kind of like this girl next door kind of vibe. I know this says Mother, but like, I don't know. It's like firstly, people liked you. I want to say that. People liked you at this workplace. I feel like you were missed when you left. I feel like people were disappointed when you left. Maybe not everybody. Maybe some of you were terminated or fired or something. But if that's the case, it's like the majority of the energy coming through here is that you were very, very much liked. You were liked romantically, I feel, by one or multiple people here. I feel like there's a lot of respect. Like, I'm also getting kind of like this, I don't know how to describe it, like this kind of vintage, old school, I don't know, maybe it's the style of dressing. Maybe you have a more, a more classic look to you, I guess, is what I would say is classic. Like a classic beauty, a classic style, almost like a timelessness, well put together. But something about your energy that was just soft. It was giving. It was, I don't know, people, for one, with the work, they could rely on you, but it just felt like people thought you were a great friend, great energy to, like, you lifted the energy of the room when you were there. People looked forward to coming to work and speaking with you and seeing you. You're a light. You're an absolute light and a doll. I don't know what. A doll. Like it's weird vintage words coming through here. I don't know why. Okay, so from the Norse mythology cards, we have Mani, which is the personification of the moon. And it says unresolved emotions. And we have Nana in reverse, which says steadfastness and loyalty. You really might have surprised some people when you left, like they weren't expecting it. And like I said, there's this disappointment at you leaving from the majority of people. Okay, so if this was like somewhere you didn't want to be let go of, that's not how most people felt. If it was an unfair termination, I think most people are, really disappointed about it. They didn't want you to go, and they agreed that it was unfair, if that's the case for you. You were just loved. You were well liked, respected, wanted, just bright, happy. I can't quite come up. I hope the word comes through here, because I can't quite put my words to it. So from the animal spirit, we have the elk, which is stability. It's also fatherhood. So we have the father and the mother card coming out here. Maybe you were seen as the person holding everything together, like the workplace parent, almost. Some of you might have been older than the rest of your coworkers at this place. It doesn't have to be. And this could also be an indication that you were a parent, and maybe sometimes you brought your kids to work, or maybe if this was a remote working place, I don't know, just something to do with your kids. I feel like it's all positive, though. It's all positive. They love you. They love your kids. Like, it's just such a gentle, loving energy coming through here. I'm seeing there's a lot of flowers and especially roses. So there is a romantic, dreamy quality to you. Some people just might have fantasized about you. And it doesn't even have to be romantic fantasizing, even if there are some people that had crushes on you. I just feel like you were part of people's visions. That you were always going to be at this workplace for a long time. That you were kind of, a key player for the work. Of course, for the work you did, but like also for the culture. Like you were, I don't know. Maybe you were the person that was always, for some of you, organizing the events. Making sure everyone was celebrated on their birthday. Making everyone feel remembered and seen. It feels like a nostalgia, a romance, a daydreamy thing. But yeah, definitely part of people's fantasies, future visions. People saw you long term with this company. I feel like they had a lot of plans for the future with you. They were planning to grow with you. So yeah, it's just a real loss. It was a loss for you to leave. Okay, so Spirit, can you tell us more? How does this workplace remember group 2 more specifically? So we have the Page of Pentacles. For some of you, this might have been your first job. or your first job within a certain career path. And we have the Page of Wands. So yeah, a youthful kind of energy here too. So with the pages, so definitely not all of you were the older one at your workplace. Take whatever resonates here. There's like a specific hobby or something you do outside of work that people really it was kind of unique that people associate with you, like ice skating or dancing, skiing, hiking, whatever it is. They're associating this hobby with you. Could be football even. Okay, so you see like all the different like screws, nuts, and bolts, and the wrench right here. So you were definitely somebody helping hold the workflow together. So I mean, while they could have found a replacement for you, like for like the job you did, for one, you did that really well, so it might have been difficult to replace you. But two, it's like you couldn't be replaced. Like you as a person, your personality couldn't be replaced, and I feel like that's what's so disappointing here. And we still have more about the moon coming through here. Or it could be the moon. A boat? Fishing? I don't know. Because that's what this moon card is. I don't know. I don't know what that is. Spirit, can you tell us more, please? Give us more details. You're a go-getter, I just heard. So we have the Nine of Wands. Again, that's like disappointment. Look at that. Knight of Swords. For some of you, there might have been some kind of rapid company restructuring that kind of forced you out. The whole culture of the company might have changed rapidly. And maybe it was just that your, perfect energy wasn't a vibrational match to it. That might resonate for some people. It's just like your coworkers that you immediately worked with really liked you and they kind of miss you. I hope you're still in contact with them because I feel like they kind of would like to still be in contact with you. And then we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. For some reason I was seeing that as the Lovers. Four of Pentacles. You weren't greedy. You might have been underpaid. And I don't even feel like you really complained about that. Some of you might have left over the money eventually, though. I feel like if that's the case, like the people responsible for your salary and underpaying you, I feel like they regret not giving you the raise sooner because, like I said, there's disappointment at you leaving. Some of you might have had plants in your office or at your desk, and you were really good at taking care of them, and people are remembering this. They're associating you with plants, or maybe you took care of the office plants, if that's a thing. Let's see here. We have the Seven of Cups. Again, this fantasy, daydreamy energy. People just fantasized about you. And I don't necessarily mean romantically or sexually. They just wanted to invite you to things. They wanted to include you. You're part of the vision. You're part of the family, part of the culture. I feel like you're the person who kind of made it feel like a family here. Maybe it stopped feeling like a family after you left because maybe you were the mother-father figure that was holding that together. Also, your creativity might have been important here with the, the paint palette and the art this person's working on. Some of you, this might be confirmation for some of you who worked in kind of like a visually creative field. So, graphic design, film, things like that. Doesn't have to be, just confirmation for those who need it. Okay, sorry, we're going to close this out. I'm going to pull a few emoji cards to see if we can get any other specific associations here. So, Spirit, can you tell us more? How is Group 2 remembered by this workplace? Look at that, the heartbreak emoji. You did. You broke some people's hearts when you left. They miss you. We have the ice. The ice might have to do with like how and why you left. Maybe you were put on hold for too long. Maybe you asked for raises, clarifications, communications that you never got, and it's just like you just slowly became so disenchanted or overworked that you eventually had to leave, and they regret not being faster for you. Okay, that was weird. I guess this one wants to come out. So we have the monkey. Playful. That's very playful energy. You were the fun one. And then we have the poo emoji. Yeah, disappointment. I mean, that's all. They just wish you were still there. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group 2. Love this energy. It's honestly, your energy feels so warm and loving, like a big hug. And I feel like that's how people felt in your presence, which is amazing. But anyway, if this reading resonated, please give this video a thumbs up. And also please let me know how this resonates in the comments down below. I love reading the stories, especially on these types of readings. Or you could just leave a comment to let me know which group you were in. That's always appreciated. And if you're new here and you liked this reading, you like my vibe, you like my style, please consider subscribing. I make a lot of different pick a card tarot readings over here on a variety of topics, which you can find categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page. So go check those out if you're interested. But anyway, as always, thank you all so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye! Hi group 3, and welcome to your reading. You guys chose the polished, I think it's called lepidolite. I know it starts with an L. But anyway, the topic for today's Pick a Card Tarot reading is, how does your former workplace remember you? What's the former workplace gossip, ex-coworkers, ex-bosses, all those juicy details. So let's go ahead and get started. So I don't remember the name of the stone, obviously, but I do remember when I bought it, one of the associations with it or uses for it was like protection during like legal struggles, conflicts, things like that, things to do with the law. So if you're involved in a court case or something. So I'm wondering, this might be confirmation for some of you if this your ending with this workplace involved some type of legal issues, lawsuits, unemployment cases, something like that, where it required a lot of bureaucratic paperwork, cases, things like that. It doesn't have to be, but could be for some of you. But anyway, we're getting started. So from your archetypes cards, we have the Lover. Okay. And we have the Destroyer. Ooh, we are polarizing here, aren't you, group 3? Okay, Lover and Destroyer. So, I mean, how do we interpret that other than love-hate? Some people have a love-hate view of you. I feel like also different people have very drastically different opinions of you. You must be a very a strong personality. You must be a strong personality. So, some people like it, some people don't at this workplace. This is also very passionate energy, right? Because love is very passionate and destruction is also very passionate. And also, this card says passion all over it, and that word's just standing out to me. So you are remembered as very passionate. I don't know if some of y'all had an exploding temper at some point. Something. Let me pull the other cards here. So, okay, from the Norse mythology oracle, we have Vidar, which says the berserker, the warrior, and that's in reverse. So, some of you might have maybe had a lot of pent-up frustrations at this workplace, but you kept them inside. And then you eventually exploded, and it might have shocked some people. Or you might have just like kept those passions and this frustrations with this workplace, like you kept them to yourself, and then maybe you just shocked people when you left. Like they didn't realize how unhappy and discontent you were. Like it literally shocked them, because you probably had, I don't know, they just didn't see it coming for you to leave. Whether you left voluntarily or were fired, I just feel like most people at this workplace, there was something a bit shocking about your departure. There could have just been a sudden explosion, a sudden fight where things ended and people parted ways that just was unexpected. Maybe people that you previously got along with, suddenly you weren't getting along with them anymore. Maybe they suddenly changed. And it's just like this weird kind of inexplicable shift in things. Whether this was a weird shift in you that they suddenly perceived, or someone else that you dealt with. For some reason, I'm getting substance use here. That's obviously not going to resonate for everybody, but maybe somebody like started drinking a lot or using other substances too much, and they just suddenly kind of changed personalities. Yeah. Or for any other reason they might. Maybe somebody like at this workplace, they had a rough situation or something going on in their personal life, and then suddenly their attitude at work suddenly changed. Something like that. Okay, so we have Skrymir, which says deception and undermining of confidence. So there is some sort of deception people are associating with you, whether they think you were the deceptive one or that someone else was deceptive towards you. And you see there's like a puppet master here. What do you call those? With the little talking ventriloquists. So someone might have said that you said something that you didn't. Like they made up a lie about something you said. That could be the case for some of you. Okay, and we have Jarl and Arna, which says ambition and collaboration. Interesting. So I feel like with this card here, you were seen as very collaborative, just very stable. You were seen as, some of you might have had a leadership role, because I'm seeing leading, or if that's not the case where you didn't have the leadership role, you might have just taken the initiative a lot and acted as a leader, even though you weren't given that authority by your job title. And maybe some of you felt really unappreciated because of that. Maybe some of you took on extra projects, extra work that you didn't need to. And maybe that's some of the frustration that was bottled up, was this feeling of being unappreciated and unseen, in which case they're lost, right? They're lost. And then from the animal spirit, we have the bear. There's a bear on this card. There's also a rooster over here. I don't know if that's someone's like Chinese zodiac sign. The bear. So yeah, some of you might be quiet. They might have perceived you as quiet and unassuming. My voice is cracking. That's crazy. Like you didn't talk a lot, maybe. Sorry. Yeah, they just did not expect the sudden departure or a sudden explosion, or that you were frustrated at all. They did not see something coming. They thought everything was fine, so there was a shock here. Because bears are like, they're about this hibernation. About quiet. So there were frustrations here from you or from somebody else that were not being spoken. And then it was a shock when they came out. Oh, my voice. Okay, it's really tight. So, anyway, Spirit, can we get more? I'm also getting like this headache all of a sudden too. So, this workplace might have been a headache. There might have been sudden stress coming on that kind of disrupted this peaceful hibernation energy. It might have been even external to you. Maybe another person didn't cause it. Maybe it wasn't your emotions. It just feels like things suddenly became stressful, and my head hurts so bad. I don't know, like you had to think too much or work too much, and it's just overwhelming. I don't know. That's a weird energy. Spirit, can we please tone it down? Okay, Spirit, tell us more about how this former workplace remembers. I'm even like having trouble processing my words a little bit here. So there's flustered, there's confusion, there's a lot of confusion in this energy. Some of you might have worked in a tall building as well. I'm kind of picking up. Not for everybody here. Spirit, tell us more about this former workplace. How do they remember group 3? We have the Empress. Some of you might have left or taken a maternity leave with the Empress there. We have the Knight of Wands. Some people might have felt ignored by you. Like you were choosing not to speak to them. Maybe some of you were just too busy to respond to some emails. Maybe some people took that personally. Or text messages, Teams, Zoom calls, whatever it is these days. Knight of Wands, 10 of Cups. Some people might say that you prioritized your family over this workplace. In which case, I mean, that's what you should do, right? More important things than work, if that's the case. Some of you might have just left to go start a family. Or you might have left to pursue your passions outside of, whatever this workplace or form of work was with the Knight of Wands here. The Knight of Wands actively pursues his passions. Some of you might have had a workplace injury. Sorry, that's a bunch of random stuff here. It's just confirmation for those who need it. 9 of Pentacles. Some of you might have left to start your own business, do your own thing, be a freelancer. But the Knight, because the 9 of Pentacles is independence. You just chose something over this workplace. And if you were fired or something, you didn't leave voluntarily. It's just like maybe one of their reasons was they didn't like that they felt like you were choosing something over your work, and they wanted you to choose work, which is, unreasonable in most cases, if you ask me. And we have the 5 of Swords, so that's defeated, lose energy. There might have been a little bit of bad blood with somebody. It might have been from you. You might have walked away just frustrated with these people. They might have felt frustrated with you. There's a white flag in the background here too, so maybe it feels like someone just had to surrender if there was conflict going on here. Like it just ended in a surrender. Nobody felt like they won. Especially like in the beginning with the stone, I was saying if there was any kind of legal situation going on here, I just feel like nobody felt like they came out on top. It just feels like maybe the feelings were like mutually, I'm better off without this. I'm just better off without this. It's better to part our separate ways. It's just an incompatibility here. Again, this love-hate thing, I feel like if there was hate towards you, it was a minority of people. I feel like most of the people at this former workplace either loved you, because we do have the Lover card here, and we have the 10 of Cups, we have the Empress here. So a lot of positive opinions about you. There were many people with positive opinions about you, but I am also getting, from the majority of people, kind of a neutrality. Maybe they just didn't know you very well, and they didn't actually have that strong of an opinion. So it's like you polarized a few people to this love or hate side, and most people also just didn't. I guess they didn't know you enough to care. Maybe they saw you as quiet, or they just did not interact with you. They were from a department. They just didn't know you very well. So, yeah, kind of a neutrality. Spirit, anything else? Any other associations this workplace has with group number 3? This former workplace. Oh my, look, it's the bomb emoji. So yeah, explosive passions, unexpected explosion, shocking news, things like that. Okay, and we have the cake. Again, love, hate, just polarizing. Polarizing for a few, neutral for the majority, I want to say. So that's the cake and the mushroom. I don't know if there's specific associations with cake or mushrooms here. The color red is very strong. The color red is very strong. see here. And we have the little postcard city thing here. Like I was saying, some of you might have worked in a tall building, or this could be maybe a metaphor for the fact that this was a particularly large company. But anyway, I feel like it looks like wherever you went, it looks like it turned out more positively for you. And I feel like people are perceiving it that way. And the people who loved you at this workplace, I think they're happy for you. Otherwise, I just feel like everyone else, even the ones who were kind of negative towards you while you were here, they just like, they don't care anymore. So for those of you where it's kind of a fresh break and you're asking about something that you just left, that's how it's going to turn out, right? You're going to turn out as the Empress, the Ten of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. So everything's going to be fine. You're going to end up in a really good place if that's you. But anyway, that's what I have for you, group number 3. I hope this resonated. If it did, please give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to comment down below what your situation is, especially this one, since I was getting that weird, heavy, confusing energy. If any of you know what that's about, I love reading those comments. Or if you could just comment down below to let me know which group you were in, that's always appreciated. There's also some comments about your car coming through here. I don't know what that's about. That's for somebody. But anyway, if you're new here and you liked this reading and it resonated with you and you kind of like my style, please consider subscribing. I make a lot of different pick a card tarot readings over here on a variety of topics, which you can find categorized under the playlist tab on my channel page if you're interested in other readings. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!